always been a complicated process. I mean, my goodness, how many times have we talked about it in the last few months and even in just the last few weeks? I think it's too soon to know what any of these reported events could mean for the ceasefire deal. But if I could add 2 points, one is that doesn't mean we're going to stop working on it. In fact, we have a team in the region right now as we speak to try to continue to work with our counterparts to move this forward because it's that important. And number two, as I kind of alluded to earlier, it's always been complicated work. And it's not like the complications with every passing day get easier. And that includes today. Our job since the beginning of this conflict, in addition to making sure Israel has what it needs to defend itself, in addition to making sure the people of Gaza aren't suffering more than they already are, is to manage risk in the region. One of the things the president's been very focused on is trying to prevent escalation here. That work is complicated and difficult every day, and that includes today. We don't believe that an escalation is inevitable, and there's no signs that an escalation is imminent. But I also said that we watch it very, very closely. I also said, and said again today, that this is something that we've been concerned about since the 7th of October. It's not like we're brushing off concerns at all. We're watching this very, very closely, and it's been a chief concern of the president. Look, you've seen the comments by the Supreme Leader and what he said publicly. It's out there for everybody to see. I'll certainly not speculate about whether and to what degree Iran does anything. What I can tell you is we have and will maintain a level of readiness to preserve our national security interest in the region. It's not like we take a blind eye to what Iran is capable of doing and has shown their capability of doing in the region. It's not like we've demonstrated an unwillingness to defend Israel from threats in the region, including from Iran, if that happens. And we maintain that capability and that readiness to do so now. I would also say, lastly, Peter, what I said earlier, we don't want to see an escalation, and everything we've been doing since the 7th of October, we've been trying to manage that risk. Those risks go up and down every day. They are certainly up right now. They don't make the task of de-escalation, deterrence, and dissuasion, which is the goal, any less complicated.
You've heard me say this a number of times this week, our commitment to Israel's security and defending them from malign attacks like those from reckless regimes like the Iranian regime, that is unwavering and ironclad, and that continues to be the case. Israel is, of course, a country that faces a number of threats purely based on just where they are in the world, and so that our security relationship with them is unwavering, our commitment to them is unwavering, but again, I'm not going to speculate on any actions that may or may not happen. Iran is a regime that time and time again, since 1979, has been the largest and greatest exporter of terrorism, not just in the Middle East, but broadly. And it has a clear track record of not just suppressing its own people, but also funding, promoting, encouraging malign, destabilizing actions across the region. And our opinion and point of view on the Iranian regime is quite clear, and we will not hesitate to not just stand with our allies and partners when it comes to defending against threats from Iran, but also taking appropriate action from the United States.
Israel is right to hit the leaders and masterminds of terrorism, organizations bent on the destruction of the Jewish state, anytime, anywhere. It is time to end the charade that the world is playing when it comes to Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. They're one and the same. So I will be proposing legislation, a resolution, a sense of the Senate resolution I introduced today, that says that any escalation by Hezbollah against Israel that leads to a major confrontation should be viewed as an attack carried out and executed by Iran. Not only should Israel hold Iran accountable for any escalation by Hezbollah, the United States should do the same. What should the target list include? It should include those facilities most vital to the funding of terrorism.